Yo, what's going on, everybody? Wednesday edition here of the Payoff Pitch, live every single day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Jason. He's the Hockey Squirrel, powered by BetUS, a fantastic sports books. Go ahead and check them out. There's a link down in this video description. You won't find any better with better sign-on bonuses and and they use cryptocurrencies. So just a fantastic sports books. Add them to your arsenal. Fired up today. We got a lot of great comments already. We got let's keep it rolling. Let's get it popping. We got our man Hunter making three-legged parlays. Looks like based off our suggestions yesterday, everybody's here to get some more winners. What's going on with you, Squirrel?
Had an excellent, fantastic day yesterday. I went 5-1. Unfortunately, the only free pick winner that I gave out on TikTok was my loser, but 4 of those 5 were in baseball. So things are going well. I've had an excellent last week. Really, I've had a few days 5-1, 5-2. Now yesterday, another 5-1. So things are going very well for me, and looking to keep it rolling as our comments are saying here.
Love the sound of that. It was definitely a day of favorites. I think the only big favorite that really lost was those Dodgers, and that was actually the only bet that tripped me up. I almost had my first MLB sweep of the season last night, but a couple errors there in the third inning did those Dodgers in, but that happens. But as we said, a big day for those favorites, and it seemed like they came through. So nice day to go ahead.
First impression I had yesterday when I opened the book is that I was like, oh, this is going to be a day for favorites, and sure enough.
How was that first impression today? Was it like, not so much today? Wasn't that great today?
No, for both slates, for baseball and for hockey, both not the greatest, and the reason being the juice, right? It's teams where, like, would we expect them to more than likely win? Sure, but are we really willing to lay 2 units to win 1 on something that,
Yeah.
So.
All right, around the bases, let's go ahead and start talking some baseball and start breaking these games down. That's exactly what we'll do here at Around the Bases. We'll each take a couple of games. I want to go first. Got the shirt on today, fellas. You guys ready to sweat 6 outs to glory? I'm ready to sweat it. Gave this bet out yesterday as a lean. Did not make my official card, but the lean went ahead and cashed. So I'm going right back to that today. It's Royals. It's Royals versus those White Sox. NRFI at -127. Tweeted that price out last night. Well, we got Dylan Cease on the mound here for the White Sox. Really good pitcher right here. 3 starts, 0 runs, 3 hits, 3 Ks, 0 walks. And Zach Greinke's on the mound there for the Royals. Also had a nice start to his season. 3 starts, 0 runs, 0 hits, 0 Ks, 0 walks. And for the offenses, we talked about it yesterday. Generally speaking, 2 offenses that are struggling. The Royals have the better offense, but they got to go up against a much better pitcher there in Dylan Cease. So like that right there. And the White Sox just continued to not hit the ball. Don't know why anybody is backing the White Sox in any fashion these days. I'm obviously going to go ahead and fade them and say that they can't get it done in the first inning against a very veteran pitcher there. And Zach Greinke, a guy, again, is off to a nice start to the season. So 6 out to glories to go ahead and kick off your Wednesday. You can get that at -127 in Royals versus White Sox. What about for you there, Squirrel?
Again, I was thinking about going right back on the Marlins after last night. Nationals bats are just so not getting it done. And it's frustrating to watch because you look at that batting order and I just would expect so much more from what they're producing. And I don't think Eric Fedde is that great. Saw him last year, not against Pablo Lopez anyway. So again, I think you're getting a great pitching edge, much like you got yesterday in Alcantara. And, I just think Miami's been getting it done. Nationals haven't. Yeah, they're at home, but for what you're getting today, I'll pay, again, the -135 price.
So back to you for that full game money line?
Yes, sir.
Okay, full game money line there with the Marlins. I want to switch it over here down to Pittsburgh, where you got the Brewers in town, or at least I believe it's in Americans. I'm not really sure where this game's being played, actually. It doesn't really matter. If there's a sport where fans don't matter, not to put down baseball fans that want to show up in attendance, but I just don't think fans, the home crowd, really matters at all. So, anyways, this game's being played somewhere today, and I think over the course of the first 5 innings, there's going to be over 3.5 runs at -130. So the first 5 innings, over 3.5 runs in Pirates and Brewers at -130. Got Wilson on the mound here. He's being opposed by Ashby on the mound. Ashby's got a 267 opponent's batting average, a 1.76 whip, and a 3.18 ERA. Wilson's even worse at a 286 opponent's batting average, 1.76 whip, and an ERA of 6.35. We saw 20 runs being scored yesterday between these two teams, and we saw 8 of those 20 runs being scored in the first 5 innings. You got worse pitchers on the mound, obviously, today, with Woodruff obviously not on the mound there for the Brewers. So they got it done yesterday with these two slappies on the mound. I think they can get it done. And if you're worried about the Pirates' offense, they actually have the 11th best batting average against left-handed pitchers. So don't be worried about that Pirates offense today against this lefty. So go ahead and give me that first 5 over 3.5 at -130. What's another one on your mind?
Just looking at the pitching matchups, the one I love to fade is Michael Wacha, as you know. And then on the other side of things, another guy I'm not a real big fan of is Ross Stripling, at least from my observations of last year, which, again, we try not to bring too much of last year into this year, but, you kind of understand the history of the players. And you have excellent bats in both sides, right? You're looking at Toronto, who has, I think, the 4th most hits per game on average for the entire year so far. Obviously, Trevor Story and Xander Bogaerts, all these guys that are just scary when they get up to the plate. And then you have really subpar pitching. I wouldn't really even call it average, especially with Wacha and Stripling. I would look for that game to go over. And I think that's what I'm going to do. And I don't know exactly why. I will forewarn you that I think the total has come down a bit. It opened at 9 or 9.5, and I got it at 8.5. But at some point you look for a buyback opportunity, right? And so at 8.5, I pay -120 to get 9 runs. But I think it happens with these pitchers and who we have at the plate.
Yeah, we do just fantastic offenses that can obviously just explode for runs on any given day. So like that right there. Let's go ahead now and shut up and give these guys some pitching props. I'll go ahead and kick it off here first. I want to go ahead and kick it off with, wait a second. There we go. A little technical difficulties right there. I'm going to go ahead and start off here with Mackenzie. I believe this guy's name is Gore. Mackenzie Gore, under 5.5 Ks at -130. Remind you, I was right about Joe Musgrove yesterday because he's CEO of those Reds back-to-back, and he did not go over his strikeout total. Well, neither will this guy. I know he got 7 in that last outing against the Reds, but just not expecting him to have that success so soon. And the Reds also don't K a lot. Remember, I told you that about Musgrove, right? They're not hitting the ball, but they're at least hitting it in terms of getting outs, and they're not striking out via the strikeout. So give me a team that is not striking out. And like I said, Musgrove went from 7 Ks to 4 Ks yesterday. You're going to see a similar drop-off today with Mackenzie Gore. So like him staying under 5.5 Ks at -130. What's one on your mind?
Cool. I just got done talking about Michael Wacha. I was looking for a way to fade him because I generally do. So whether that's under a strikeout total, I was looking at, how many hits is he going to give up? We kind of talked a little bit about this, and that number was 5.5 hits. And you start running the risk, right, that he gets pulled, right? They'll just yank the pitcher, and then you're kind of screwed for your bet. I was looking at Michael Wacha having some command issues, hopefully, and giving over 1.5 walks. I know this is a bet you've made a few times, and it hasn't worked out for you, so I'll try my hand at it at a -135 and hope that he walks 2 guys today in the opening few innings there.
All right, you took an over right there in terms of walks. I'm going to go right back to under, and I'm going right back to the strikeout. It's Pablo Lopez. You touched on him there. He's obviously a member of those Miami Marlins. Under 5.5 Ks at -130. It's only cashed in one start this season, where he had 2 Ks in that start. So off to a nice start, getting 1 out of 3 to cash. Got 9 last time out against the Cardinals. But keep in mind, the Cardinals get a strikeout every 3.6 at-bats. The Nationals only K every 6 at-bats, so a big difference in terms of the strikeout rate between these Nationals and Cardinals, where he was able to burn this bet on his last outing. The bet cashed in one of the 2 starts versus the Nationals last season, and his K per 9 is down. Love when that also lines up. His K per 9 is down from 10.1 to 8.8 this season, so not looking for Lopez to get a lot of strikeouts today against a good Nationals disciplined team. So under 5.5 Ks at -130. Another one for you?
Cool. I have, over strikeouts. And when I'm thinking over strikeouts, or I'm thinking about a lot of strikeouts in general, there's 2 teams I generally think of, and it's been the Orioles and it's been the Yankees. And they just happen to be playing each other today. I opened up the pitching props, and I think either way you go on it, I just took the lower number with Tyler Wells only at 3.5 strikeouts. So if he gets 4 strikeouts, it's only -115 against a team that heavily strikes out. They swing for the fences in the Yankees. And sure, I mean, if they get a hold of the ball, it's generally gone, right? If
Yeah,
you
right.
get big Aaron Judge on the ball. But yeah, I mean, if he can put a couple guys away and whatnot, 3.5 strikeouts I don't think is absolutely unachievable for Tyler Wells at minus 115 price.
All right, nice little over there for you there in that Yankees versus Orioles game. Let's go ahead and now move over to the long shots. We think there's some underdogs that can get the damage done. I was right yesterday. The Royals did beat the White Sox. The other one I gave out, what an ugly loss there by those Tigers up against the Twins. Ugh, just an ugly play, like 3 errors.
Those are my boys.
In one play. So for my long shot, go right back to the Royals, folks. Why not go back to the now granted I like the under. I'm sure I'll end up taking the under in rapid fire when we get to more towards the end of the show, but the White Sox just aren't hitting. And you got Greinke on the mound. You got a better offense. We know the bullpen advantages to the KC. Kind of talked about this matchup. So go right back to it at plus 165. Right back to the Royals for me. What about for you?
Yeah, and we just talked about the Orioles, and honestly, I think the New York Yankees have had a little bit of trouble already this year in an earlier series with the Orioles. I think they at least stay with them. And I think if you were going to do this, you get underdog odds even for a plus 1.5, or if you want to sprinkle a little bit on that money line, I think it's plus 200 at this point. The 1.5 being what I think minus 115 or something like that. I'd have to take a look, but I don't think that's a bad play. Oh, plus 100, I guess, or plus 205 for a money line. But I don't know. I kind of have that feeling, you know what I mean, where everybody stacks on the big boys of New York, and I think it's very possible that you see a Baltimore upset again.
Yeah, this is a better spot than yesterday. Obviously, you're not dealing with Severino. What is it? Montgomery, I believe, is on the mound. So a little bit
Montgomery against Wells. Tyler Wells.
Yeah, and they've got some hitters that have done some damage against Montgomery. So I think today's definitely a better spot for the Orioles. All right, let's keep swinging. Let's try and give these guys some hitting props. I'll go ahead and kick it off here first. I'm going to start with this one just because you were talking about that Orioles versus Yankees game. Trey Mancini, if you're looking for a guy to do some damage, 10 for 23 in his career against Jordan Montgomery. 9 singles, so he's not getting a lot of power. So if you're going to go ahead and take him, I know it's over 0.5 hits at like minus 210 over at BetUS. So maybe you find another guy on BetUS and just drop him into a parlay if you're unwilling to pay that juice. So that's one guy I'll be looking at. Another guy I'll be looking at, and I cannot longer give this bet out. I understand that, I give out bets, and sometimes you guys get the better of the lines, and sometimes I get the better of the lines. I got this at plus 125. It's now minus 120. That to me is just too big of a discrepancy to give out. But I liked Juan Soto to do some damage today. He's 8 for 19 up against Lopez, 3 doubles, 2 home runs. His over 1.5 bases, again, was at plus 125. About 10 minutes when I was just kind of finalizing everything and getting ready to jump on here with you guys, it went to minus 120. So I'm going to go ahead and cash out. Not going to play that myself if you guys can't ride that with me. But, man, I love that one. So maybe he's another parlay piece for you guys. Or you just pay minus 120 if you like minus 120. But I liked it much more in the plus money bet.
Definitely. I have Bo Bichette. Again, another way I can fade Michael Wacha. Bo Bichette of the Toronto Blue Jays there. He's only seen him a few times, but he has 3 hits on 4 at-bats already, which, and that's one of the better hitters, right, other than Vlad. Mm-hmm. But I was looking, and you can get over 1.5 hits for more underdog odds, but if you go over the total bases, 1.5 total bases, suppose he gets a double or a triple or a home run, you win that bet at 1 at bat instead of needing to have him drop in 2 in the game. It just seems I don't want to make it harder on myself than it needs to be. Yeah. So if he does get 2 singles, well then you win the bet anyway. But you still get underdog odds at plus 115 instead of I think it was like plus 160 or something. To get 2 hits. But if he's already seen the guy a few times and he has 3 hits on 4 at bats, and again, both sides of that game, I don't really respect the pitching at all. And I do respect the bats. So I expect there to be runs there. I'm already on the over, trying to fade Michael Wacha. And that's going to be my first one. I do have another one if you want me to go ahead, if you don't have anything else.
Go for it. I got one more, but go for it.
I was looking I was looking at on the flip side of things, Corey Dickerson to go under 1 hit, and that's against Carrasco, I think is the pronunciation there. But we know the Mets have a great bullpen even when the starter comes out. Corey Dickerson 0 hits on 10 at bats against Carrasco as well. So not great historically already there, and you get some real great plus money, plus 150 if he just doesn't get a hit. So we're just hope that he doesn't get a hit.
Yeah, and to your point, when Carrasco's out of the game, it's a good Mets bullpen. It's a really good bullpen that's going to come out and back him. I'm going to go ahead and throw in an extra one just because the Juan Soto play got ruined for me. This one I obviously don't like as much, but it's Carlos Correa. They're the Minnesota Twins. Boy, he's got some nice damage today against today's starter, going 11 for 23, 4 doubles, 3 home runs. You can get over 1.5 bases at plus 135 with him over at BetUS. The thing about him is, though, he's only hit 172 on the season. Just not off to a great start. He is the number 2 hitter, so we like that. But made a lot of success off today's starter. Season slumping. I don't know. I wanted to just go ahead and kind of just throw out another one there for you guys since that Juan Soto play, unfortunately, just got ruined. Let's go ahead and give these people a steal. Was there anything on the board that you thought was just get bet it, guys? Take their money. Go over to BetUS and just pluck away the money from BetUS. What's a steal for you, man?
I think I'm going to go back on the New York Mets to get the sweep. Steven Matz, again, not a guy that's really a favorite of mine, and somebody that I just don't remember being top tier talent anyway. Minus 120 for the Mets, and I can see the money that is on the Cardinals, and I think I'm going to go against it at a minus 120 price. Again, the bullpen is much better, and it's a more well-rounded team anyway, as far as I am concerned. So I guess it's not a lot to pay for a great offense for minus 120.
Yeah, and that's just money chasing yesterday's loss. Because I remember yesterday when I was on Mets, you brought up, well, the money's on Cardinals. That's just people chasing yesterday's loss, folks. Don't go worry about where that money's at today. Back those Mets. They're the better team. I'm going to go ahead for my steal. I have struggled with over 1.5 walks. I've been getting my tail kicked. Oh, let's go under, folks. Zach Greinke under 1.5 walks at plus 115. Why is it a steal? Because it's cashed at all 3 starts. Something that's hit at 100% rate shouldn't be giving it to me at plus money, and that's exactly what we get here at plus 115. In those 3 starts where he got cashes, it was against the Twins, the Tigers, and the Guardians. Twins are getting a walk every 8.7 plate appearances. Tigers are 10.25. The Guardians at 13.5. The White Sox come in kind of right in the middle there, 11.5. So you can see more towards that Guardian side where even they stayed under, only getting 1 walk right there. We obviously know the White Sox are struggling to hit. They're only hitting 122 in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. And, yeah, that's going to cash. So that's a steal. It's cashed every start. So Zach Greinke under 1.5 walks, a member of those Kansas City Royals at plus 115 is my steal. We got to give these people our best bet here in the 7th inning. It's coming to a stretch. What's your best bet on the board there, Squirrel?
I know it sounds kind of stupid, but I struggled to come up with a best bet just because I'm not absolutely so in love with anything today that I feel like confident enough that it's like, oh, this is just going to like absolutely have a very, very high chance of winning. I think that play for me is probably going to be the over in that Boston and Toronto game with the perceived bad pitching and the bats that I expect to come out, the offense that I expect to be produced in that game should get us to 9 runs or higher. I feel that way. So
all right,
it's going to be my best bet, or what I'll call my best bet.
I think you're right, though. Overall, it was a much tougher slate, than what we had yesterday. We're going to go ahead and look at this Mariners versus Rays game, and we had a comment there from the Degent Woodworker. He was thinking Rays team total. Think that's a good play. I went at it a little bit different angle. I did Gonzalez, the starting pitcher there, the Mariners under 17.5 outs at plus 105. It's cashed in 2 of his 3 starts. It did not cash against the Astros, but remember, folks, the Astros aren't hitting the ball. So there's a reason why it did not cash against the Astros, because they weren't hitting them, and he was able to go deep in that game. The Astros ranked 21st against left-handed pitching. The Astros ranked 21st. Where do the Rays rank? 3rd. he's going to struggle today against this third-ranked team against left-handed pitching. They got the third-best batting average at 288. They got the tied for the 7th most doubles, tied for 13th most runs. So I'm really just going to rely on a Rays team that hits left-handers really, really good. They got a nice start yesterday out of Logan Gilbert, so they can go to their bullpen if Gonzalez gets hit. They've got a nice victory yesterday, so they got a little bit there to play with. So give me that team that's just crushing left-handed pitching at a 288 clip, which is third best in the major leagues. I think they'll go ahead and chase Gonzalez before the 6th inning is completed. That's what we don't want to have happen, is him to go full 6+ innings. As long as he doesn't go 6 innings, we'll cash under 17.5 outs at a good plus cash bet at plus 105. 8th inning is called safe or out. May have to modify this inning because we're just jumping on here, I think, too early in the day. And other than the dumb same game, parlays, I don't mean dumb, but I just mean like I don't play them. I think they're kind of a trap, and they'll take your money.
Well, I'll give you an interesting question.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the daily specials, and just off the top of your head, there's a tab called highest scoring team for the entire day. Who's going to get the most runs, the lowest juice? So the team that would be the most favorited is the New York Yankees, which I think there's probably a better spot. But
So I'm taking a quick...
These odds are all like plus 1,100 all the way up to plus 2,500. So it's kind of interesting if you can pick the team that has the most runs for the whole day, highest scoring team.
Be easy to weed out
Blue
some
Jays
teams.
are
It's an interesting one.
So
All right,
maybe something to look
let's give
at.
these people our best bets, and then our official bets, and then let's get to the rapid fire. Loving rapid fire. I've been watching this show every day at the treadmill, and this rapid fire, like those things are hitting. Obviously, there's losses mixed in there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and act like we're 100% fired away over here, but boy, like the rapid fire is fun. It's off the cuff. It's a fun time. Let's give these people our official bets. So let's scroll up. I'm going to go ahead and roll first. I've got that Royals White Sox NRFI at minus 127. I've got Gonzalez to stay under 17.5 outs at plus 105. And you guys remember on Monday's show, I told you guys I put in a bet there of the Mets and Dodgers to both win their series at plus 174. I went ahead and hedged that bet earlier this morning by putting in a money line bet there of the Diamondbacks at plus 175. So we'll be winning 3/4 of a unit regardless. I know some of you guys asked in the comment section about where to get that bet. Maybe you tailed it. I don't feel comfortable. I went ahead and put in a hedge. I'm going to guarantee myself 3/4 of a unit profit right there. What are your 3 best bets on the day?
I was going to roll again with the Mets money line there for the minus 120 price and try to get the sweep. My best bet that I already talked about was the Boston and Toronto over for the pitching and against the batting. And I'll hop right back on the Marlins there with Pablo Lopez at a minus 135. So small amounts of juice to pay there today. But again, I just don't think there's a ton of spots that are insanely valuable or I don't want to pay minus 200 for some of these games. So
understandable. Let's get to rapid fire. We'll talk about all these games. We'll talk about them from a run line, over, under, and a money line perspective. So let me get BetUS up here. So we're using live lines, whatever the numbers are right now. Here they are on BetUS. So we've got Mets and Cardinals kicking it off today at an over-under of 7. Got the Cardinals at even money, Mets at minus 120. Hard to sweep a team. I know that's generally a perception, but Mets are better. I'll take Mets at minus 120 along with you.
100%. Yep, with you.
Royals and White Sox over under at 7. Royals at plus 160. White Sox at minus 190. I like the Royals as my best dog of the day, but to not repeat myself, kind of said it earlier, I like under 7 with 2 offenses, though, that are generally struggling.
I'm a money line player, you know that, and no way you'd get me to pay minus 190 for a team that can't hit the ball right now.
Think of that line, minus 190 for a team that is dead last in batting average. Like, yeah, that's what I want to throw my money behind.
Exactly. No, it'd be stupid. So yeah, is there value in the Royals? Absolutely, I would hop on it.
Minus 190 for a team that's the worst in baseball. Love it right there. All right, Dodgers and Diamondbacks are up next with an over/under of 8. Dodgers minus 190, Diamondbacks 160 with their ace Gallen on the mound. That's why I hedged that bet, folks, because they've got Gallen on the mound, which is their best pitcher. Dodgers in a bounce back. Not going to do minus 190 though. I'll do the run line at minus 125.
Okay, and so you would think under on a
Urias usually goes
right. The Diamondbacks probably aren't gonna drive in too many runs, so you just hope that the Dodgers don't run it up on them. So I guess maybe I'd stick with an under.
Stick with that under 8. We got Brewers and Pirates up next with an over/under of 7.5. Pirates are dogs at plus 150. Brewers are at minus 170. Give me that over 7.5. I think it obviously goes with the over of the first 5 that I've already given out. So over 7.5
Sure.
for me.
I don't really know much about Dylan Peters. I think he was one of these 2 inning guys, but I don't know. Would it be bad to take a plus 1.5 on the run line, the reverse run line? It's only minus 115. Might not be the worst.
Yeah. Oh, now it's switched to Dylan Peters. Oh, yeah. BetUS says Dylan Peters. You said that. Oh, well, that's all right. It didn't make my official card anyway, so I don't know who Dylan Peters is. I'd have to look it up. And
yeah, he looks like one of those 2 inning guys. I mean, he doesn't have bad stats, but he's just kind of like one of those quick starters, and then they'll probably swap him out for someone else.
yeah, see, I don't like that as much. I like when, a guy can go 5 innings and the rotation is going to see him 2 to 3 times. If you're telling me he's only going to go 2 times, I don't like that. That favors the hitters and that favors the pitchers and not the hitters. I don't like that. So scratch that bet. Padres and Reds over under of 8.5. Why are you not taking the Padres run line against these Reds? What if they now lost 11 of the last 12 via the run line, or maybe it's 10 of the last 11, whatever it is, it's Padres run line.
Do you know much about Mackenzie Gore, or is he newer? Or?
No, other than hopefully he stays under 5.5 Ks. I don't know much about him. Just the research that I did last night or whatever it was.
I never really minded Vladimir Gutierrez, and the Reds are at home, and I understand, as we talked, are you really going to try to pick and choose when they've lost that much? But
I'm going to try and pick and choose. I like it.
I'd put a little bit down on the Reds, to be honest with you today. I really would.
All right, Reds at plus 145. I think they do probably have that starting Tavares there with Gutierrez. Mariners and Rays are up next. We've got an over-under of 7.5. Mariners are dogs at plus 120. Rays are at minus 140. Boy, I think the Rays are just in a sweet spot here with what they do against left-handers. I'd actually get that run line at plus 150. Give me that Rays run line at plus 150.
You like it that much?
Yeah. Rays just always pitch. This Rasmussen guy is good. Remember, we've taken him in a couple Nerfies already to start our season. He's a good pitcher.
I was thinking Mariners money line, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not really betting it. So.
You were right yesterday. Give it up. Mariners money line plus 120. Yeah. That's the one for you. Sure. We look at BetUS. They're talking Rockies, Phillies with an over-under of 8.5. Rockies are at plus 175. Phillies are at minus 210. Suarez versus Feltner. Not sure who Feltner is. Not paying minus 210. I'd take the over. Just good offenses, generally speaking. I think the over 8.5.
Yep. I don't feel comfortable on anything else. That's for sure.
All right, Orioles Yankees. You're on the Orioles. I'll just give my opinion here of an over-under of 8.5. I take that Orioles plus 1.5 because it's at even money. I'm with you. They've had success against Montgomery. Several of their batters have. Yep. So at even money, I'll get the Orioles plus 1.5 runs. Marlins and Nationals are up next. You're on those Marlins at minus 135. Hard not to be. Boy, I think they've got the starting advantage.
Yeah.
I'll join you.
Big time starting advantage. Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, I'll join you in that.
And the fact that the Nationals are much like the White Sox, and the fact that they can't hit jack.
Red Sox and Blue Jays are up next with an over-under of 8.5. I agree with you that the over is the best play. If you had to pick a side, would you pick the Blue Jays as favorites or the Red Sox as dogs? Which one would you pick? We've got. I pick Blue Jays. Blue Jays at minus 145. They hit at the Rogers Center. It's crazy. Their home run count, home and away splits. I remember looking it up last year. They crush it at the Rogers Center. And then when they go on the road,
I feel like it's a real 50-50 type game, though. I mean, I really feel like it's closer than minus 145. I think I'd probably just take the 125 and hope the Red Sox pull it off. But definitely the over is the play, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. Definitely over 8.5 runs is the play. Got Cubs and Braves up next. Over under of 8.5. 165 dogs of the Cubs. Minus 195 to the Braves. As favorites, Morton.
I'd take a run line on the Braves, I think.
I'm with you. It's at even money. Give me those Braves run line at even money. Tigers and Twins are up next. Over under of 7. Tigers at plus 165. Twins are at minus 195. Pineda versus Joe Ryan. I think, man, that Tigers, boy, that really burned me. I didn't bet that yesterday. Man, just watching the highlights, and it was some tweet that one of these sports books sent out, and I was like, oh, that was fun to lose a bet like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Tigers. I'm taking them as dogs at plus 165. Pineda's going to have a another good start this season. Give me the Tigers.
Yeah, it's his former team too.
His former team too. Oh, that means I usually gravitate towards the other team. Oh yeah, he was a Twin last year. All right, I'm still sticking to the Tigers. They're going to bounce back after that. They had that win yesterday. They're the better team, I believe. All right, Astros and
Yeah,
Rangers.
and I saw it. Joe Ryan sucked when he started like this year. It was not a good start, but then ever since then he has delivered some pretty good stuff. So it'll be an interesting one to watch. But yeah, I don't really want any part of either of them.
Yep. We've got Astros and Rangers are up next. Over under of 8.5. I would take that over with these two guys on the mound. You could take either money line. It's Rangers at plus 105, Astros at minus 125, but I would just take the over of 8.5.
Yeah, probably a decent bet. I don't know anything about Kristen Javier really.
Okay. We got Shohei on the mound here today for the Angels, so they're, of course, going to be big favorites at minus 210. The Guardians coming at plus 175 with an over-under of 7.5. Give me that under 7.5.
Do you think the Angels pull off a run line against this or no?
I think Guardians just have impressed me so far this season. I've just been really impressed with what those Guardians are doing.
Except for yesterday, I think it was, or 2 days ago. I don't know, something like that. Either a run line on the Eagles
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Bieber. What'd you say? Sorry, what?
Maybe either the run line on the Angels or yeah, I don't know. I don't feel either way about a total particularly, so I'll just hope LA gets runs.
Athletics and Giants will be the last game of the night with an over-under of 7. You can get those Athletics at plus 155, Giants at minus 180. I would take the Giants run line at plus 125 and not think twice.
I would do the same thing because you're gonna hope for the Giants to just blow them out again if you're taking an over. So I'll just hop on the run line on the Giants.
Which that over hit yesterday, I think I said it was 7. And I think that game ended 8-2, or maybe it was 8. So
yeah,
I
it was 8-2.
I can't remember who in the comment section said was on that over, but nice call yesterday. Very nice call yesterday, taking that over in that Giants game by whoever that was. So another day of great comments. I love seeing all the great comments. Love seeing everybody's opinion here on today's baseball slate. I did take a peek at tomorrow's slate. It's a better board, so hope to have some more bets for you guys tomorrow on the payoff pitch. We'll see you at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Have a good one. Cash those bets, and we'll see you then.
Absolutely. See you later.